I started coaching with Bob in, I think it was 2011. I'd been in dialogue with him for, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 years before that. I was with Keller Williams for 15, 18 years. And and I was in the top 5 for 9 years in a row. Well, during that time, I'd see someone come out of nowhere and they would, and I'm very competitive. And so I'd see someone come trying to charge past me. And then as I'd follow up with them and talk to them, one of the questions that, people that, producing a little bit of volume, they are always interested in is who's coaching you, et cetera. And they would say, Bob Corcoran. And so then I thought, well, I need a coach. I had a coach. I wasn't happy with them. So I thought I'd give Bob a call, and I talked to him, and I thought his rates were too high. So that was the end of that. And I waited another year or two. And next thing you know, here comes some other person out of nowhere and blew past me. And so I called them and who you coaching with? And they said, Bob Corcoran. So I called Bob again, and we went back and forth, and I didn't use him again because he wouldn't come off his feet. So then all of a sudden it happened a third time. And the third time, same thing happened again. All 3 times, the 3 people that blew past me were with Corcoran. And so I called him, and I called Bob, and I was complaining about his fee again, et cetera. And he was telling me what he could do to help me and all that stuff. And I'm a very high DC personality, so I'm very detailed, analytical. And so I was complaining about his salary, or what he's going to charge his consulting fee. And he said, I'll tell you what. And at the time, I'd got up to about 290 units. And then I went back down when the market went down in 2008. I think I went down to 270, 266. And then I did the next year, I did 267, and then I did 275. So I never could bust the 300 mark. The cap was at 290, and I think that was in 2007. So Bob said, I'll tell you what, if I can't get you to at least 350 units, now at this point, I'd just done 275 or finishing up the year at 275. And he said, I tell you what, if I can't get you to 350 units, I'll give you back all of my fee. And so I said, okay, I'll do that. And then he says, but if you do it, you're going to double my fee. You're going to pay me twice as much. And so he was so confident that it scared me. And so I said, okay, I'll take you up on the coaching, because he was so confident. And because anyone who's willing to put their money where their mouth is, I wasn't willing to double it because he was too confident. And I knew this guy wouldn't be saying this if he couldn't deliver. Plus, I watched these 3 other guys come out of nowhere and kick my butt. And so I knew that there was some substance behind what he had to say. So anyway, so that's when I signed up with him. And good thing I did not take him up on his bet, because the first full year I was with him, we did 357 units. So I exceeded the number that we were about to make our bet on by 7 units. And then the very next year, I did like 470, 480 units. The next year after that, I did 565 units. And so it turned out to be a good investment. And it was a good thing I didn't take him up on his bet. I would say by the first year, I probably did about 200,000 more in GC and net commission after the first year. I would say by the third year up to now, I've been doing somewhere in the neighborhood of an additional 600 up to as much as 800,000 more net a year since I started working with Bob. I would say I'd say roughly 3 million plus or minus a couple 100,000 that I've netted just in the last, whatever it is, 5 years, 6 years, whatever. Bob, probably more than that, maybe even close to 3.5 million, maybe, but somewhere around there. And to me, that's all that really mattered. And one thing I really loved about Bob was that the focus was not on, look how big my sales are. The question is how much were you keeping in the bank? What was your net? And to me, I think that's what is missing so much in the real estate community, is that everyone talks about how much am I doing in GCI, but no one talks about the net. And that's the only thing that matters, the only thing that matters.